Under the Hood is back, and we're bringing a brand new Hoops event with us. I'm Devin Connors, and today we're talking about The Block, a brand new Hoops arena and the centerpiece of an in-game event we're calling the Block Party. Earlier this season, we brought Sovereign Heights to Soccer playlists, and today it's getting a street ball makeover. I'm here with Josh Watson and Adam Beckwith to talk about the new arena. Thanks for joining me, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Happy to be here.
Adam, I know we have a lot of city arenas in Rocket League already, but we've been toying with the idea of doing a Hoops urban arena for quite some time now, isn't that right? Can you talk about some of the differences there might be between the Block and our first Hoops arena at Dunkhouse?
Yeah, so there aren't any differences aside from the environment. And I think we always knew that we wanted a street version. I think we actually had the idea dating back to when we were developing this game mode. So my brother Ben works here as well. Back in 2017, he had actually created a block-out version of this environment. And the way that kind of works is we'll go into the pre-existing map, and in this case it's Dunkhouse, and we'll pull all of the gameplay elements out of there, such as like the boost pads, the player starts, the goals, and we'll bring that into a brand new empty environment. And then at that point, we'll block everything out, and then we'll build the environment around all of that stuff. So it's like 5 years later, it's cool to see it finally come to life.
Can you talk a little bit about what inspired your work on the Block in Sovereign Heights?
Yeah, so I think a lot of the influences came from obviously New York.
Got that Brooklyn Bridge in the background.
It's pretty similar to that. We wanted to combine a lot of the New York feel along with San Diego because it's such a big part of our history. So the sign that you see just outside the arena says Sovereign Heights on it. We pulled that from the signs you'll see around San Diego, the signs that say Gas Lamp, Normal Heights, Hillcrest. But then anything I was doing at the time, anything I was watching, anything I was playing, I would kind of like pause and just kind of look around to see if there's anything I can pull and take inspiration from. And I would have about maybe 20 to 30 tabs open on my browser.
So Josh, why was now a good time to bring a new Hoops arena into Rocket League? This is the second one that we've ever done, and I know the Hoops community is going to be super stoked for it when they check it out.
Yeah, when I first saw Adam and Ben's arena, I fell in love with it, and we just knew the community was going to fall in love with it too. So from there, it was just about finding the right time to bring it into the game, and with Season 8 and the street theme, it was sort of a match made in heaven. So.
Following the Block, do you think you're going to see any new arenas or arena variants for extra modes in the near future?
We don't have anything planned currently, but as long as there's a community of people who are interested in those modes and they want to play it and they want the support, we're always listening. We're always gauging feedback. I don't have to tell you. So it's really about, is it going to be the right fit and the right feel for a theme or a season? And, you never know. Anything's possible.
Oh, and speaking of community feedback, one thing we hear from players a lot is they really like to see grass or turf fields in our arenas. And I know that was the driving force behind us putting turf into Sovereign Heights, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We know there's a desire for more grass maps. So I got to work with Eric Micah on the environment team to bring sort of a new grass tech, sort of a shorter grass to this arena. So it feels like one of those turf arenas that you might see in downtown London or some of the favelas in Brazil.
So yeah, speaking of building environments for arenas, I think one thing our players love to dig into and explore are all the different Easter eggs we put into our arenas in Rocket League. So are there any Easter eggs in the Block or Sovereign Heights that players haven't found yet or they don't really understand the meaning of?
I'm pretty sure they found them all. But yeah, I don't think they quite understand what the context of all of them are. And one of them is the Cracker Factory building. That one is a callback to our very first office that we had in San Diego in 2009.
And any other favorites that you have?
I always love when I can get my dog in there.
So taking a look at the neighborhood that is Sovereign Heights, how does that fit in with the larger Rocket League universe?
Yeah, so following Season 7, we're coming out of this big opulent celebration in Utopia Coliseum. And so when we were looking at Sovereign Heights and the neighborhood there, we're trying to flesh out what are the inhabitants of this place and what do they care about? And that led us to Sovereign Crew, which is this group of street artists who care deeply about the roots of the sport. So when we're looking at Season 8, we really wanted to say soccer really belongs to the street. So.
Do you think exploring that connective tissue between seasons and building out the world more, is that something that we're going to try and do more and more with new seasons as they come up?
Yeah, absolutely. When we look at all of these arenas, we think there's so much story to tell. Like the world is so interesting and unique. And so anytime that we can tie that into a season and make it feel really good, we're always going to take advantage of it.
So Adam, any insider information you can share on what's coming next season?
Just you wait, man. It's going to be insane. We're going to have field. There's everywhere coming up from the ground. There's was underneath the field. Yeah, it's going to be nuts. Have you ever seen There's this blue dog.
Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Sorry.
So season 9 is going to be great when we get there, but we have a lot more in season 8 still to come.
Yeah, we can't wait to hear your thoughts on the block and our new in-game hoops event. Be sure to stop by our official subreddit and Discord server, and definitely check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rocket League. Until then, we'll see you on the court. And shout out Ranked Hoops!
Became a king from a common man, and I